right, so we are going to take notes today on scientific notation, but before we begin this, a couple of things that I want to go over. First of all, I know that remote learning is extremely challenging. I get this. It's extremely challenging for us as teachers. It's extremely challenging as a district. It's extremely challenging for those of you at home. We know this. We're aware of this. So I'm just going to ask you just to keep working at it, learning more about how to use Teams, and making sure you're doing your work. Some of you are doing a great job at communicating with me. Some of you, I'm really impressed as 8th graders that you are stepping up and you are asking questions and asking for help, which is great. So keep that up. Remember that you need to be watching every single video. I'm going to say this, probably 80% of the questions I am answering on Teams are things that are straight from videos that I've already made. So watch your videos because that's where the information for this class are. With that being said, today's warm-up cannot be done without this video question. So the first video word of the day is cupcake. C-U-P-C-A-K-E. Cupcake. So that's your first warm-up question. Next thing is that every day in the agenda, every day when you first come to my class, there's the posts. And I give you the agenda for the day. Read that. It tells you exactly what to do every single day. That's also, I put the videos there. I also put them in the assignments. I figured that was the best way to get videos to you. Watch them. They're usually not very long. None of mine lately have been over 20 minutes because of the program I'm using. So be sure that you are watching these videos. Also, videos, and that's where you'll get your agenda. Sorry. Late work. I have had a lot of grace. We have been in school 3 weeks now, and I let you turn things in that were 2 weeks late. That Teams assignment was given you on the second day of school, and I accepted it 2 weeks late, over 2 weeks late. This ends this week. That ends this week. From now on, if it is a day late, it's minus 10 points for every day, and after 3 days, it is a 0. That is our policy school-wide. That is our policy in 8th grade. So you need to stay on top of your assignments, stay on top of your work. A lot of you were scrambling there last week because you got so far behind on your work. And yes, I know there was technological days. You had 3 days where some of you had some technology issues. And one of those days I did a free day. I did a catch-up day. And the other 2 days we just did notes. And I left it to around 20 minutes. That way I know that it would have been a build-up, but 20-minute note, 2 20-minute notes isn't that bad. But there was no homework assignments on those days. So I understand sometimes we're going to have technological issues, but overall we need to be staying on top of our work, and a lot of you were scrambling because you had gotten so far behind. This is not like it was in the spring. You have a class of work, so my class period is 50 minutes long, and most of the time, my things are about 30 minutes long. 30 minutes times 7 classes, you're looking at about 3.5 hours worth of work, which is still less than being in school. But yes, so I recommend making a schedule and working through it. All right, so we are on our notes page. This is a copy of the page that I've attached. Some of you have access to a printer, and so that has been nice, but I understand not everyone has a printer, and that's perfectly fine if you can't print, because I understand. So I always do it on the journal by hand so that you can see what it looks like. So we are on page 7 of our journal. It is important that your journal pages match mine. In about 2 weeks, we will have a journal test, and you won't be able to use your journal, but the videos over the journal will be gone, and you won't be able to access those. So please be sure that you're staying up to date. Sorry. So we're going to go ahead and title this one. I know we haven't titled a lot of the pages, but scientific notation. I noticed with some of my in-class people that were using their notes for their homework, they were struggling with that. So we have a box. And then we have a decimal. And then we have a box. And then we have a skinny box. Yes, we are drawing this because unfortunately I have no way of getting paper copies to you. So this is our only option, and I realize that some of you don't like this, and I don't really know what to say about that other than this is the only way that I can think to get the information to you and keep it in a journal. Alright, so the first one is the digit. Sorry, I'm trying to copy when it's over there. The digit before the decimal. I'm going to abbreviate. No, I got enough from the right decimal. Alright. And we're going to put will be greater than 1. Less than 10. Greater than 1, less than 10. I'll give you a minute to catch up if you need to. Greater than 1, less than 10. Only one digit. One digit. If you need to get that written down, pause the video and push play when you're done. The next part says the digits after the decimal can be any number, any amount of digits. You may say, why was this box so small and this box was big? Because this is only one number, and sometimes you're going to see quite a bit of numbers in that one. All right, the next thing says scientific, and I'm going to abbreviate scientific notation. Scientific notation must include multiplication, because multiplication moves our decimal. Okay? If you need to catch up, pause it and then push play. Scientific notation includes a power of 10 because when we multiply by 10, it moves our decimal. You need to pause to catch up, you may. And then the last one is the exponent must be an integer. Now, if you remember, an integer has no fractions, no decimals. It's our negatives and positives. And so we're going to make a little note. If positive, positive, I'm going to just be POS. The number is big. The number is big. If negative, the number is small. All right, if you need a pause, go ahead and pause. So then it says, create a number in scientific notation. We have a box, a decimal, a box, multiply, a box, and an exponent box. So we're going to start there. So we're going to do 7.08 times 10 to the 5th. We're going to put a few notes here. Nope, we're going to write a note, sorry. In standard form, my number is, I'm going to underline what my number is going to be. It's going to be 708,000. I know this because I moved my decimal 5 times to the right. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple notes here. Okay, my exponent tells me how many times to move my decimal. Oops, sorry, went off the screen. If you need a pause to catch up, you may. Positive exponent. Up here we talked about means it's a big number, but it also means moves my decimal right. Negative exponent moves my decimal to the left. All right. You must watch the second video for the other half of page 7 and to get your second word for your warm-up.